Imagine a plant that doesn't wait for food to come to it, a plant that actively hunts, a plant with a memory, a plant that literally counts how many times something touches it before deciding whether to eat it alive. This isn't science fiction. This is the Venus flytrap, and in the next 15 minutes, you're going to learn exactly how this tiny carnivorous killer works, the insane science behind its snap, why it counts its prey, and how you can grow one successfully at home without killing it in the first week. Because 90% of people do. Stay until the end because the care guide alone could save your next plant. Let's dive in. The Venus flytrap, scientific name Dionea muscipula, is the world's most famous carnivorous plant. It's not actually from Venus. The name comes from the Roman goddess of love and beauty. The species name muscipula literally means mousetrap or flycatcher in Latin. And here's the wild part. In the wild, this plant only grows in a tiny area. Basically within a 60-mile radius of Wilmington, North Carolina. That's it. Nowhere else on Earth naturally. It lives in nutrient-poor, sandy, acidic bogs and savannas. The soil is so bad that regular plants can't survive. So the Venus flytrap evolved to eat meat instead. It gets nitrogen and phosphorus from insects that regular photosynthesis just can't provide in those conditions. Charles Darwin was obsessed with this plant. In 1875, he published an entire book called Insectivorous Plants and called the Venus flytrap the most wonderful plant in the world. He spent years studying how it moved, how it digested prey, and comparing it to animal digestion. He was basically doing plant neuroscience before we even had the word neuroscience. Darwin knew this wasn't just a weird plant. It was proof of how incredible evolution can be. Let's look at the trap itself. Each leaf has two parts. A flat green petiole that does photosynthesis, and the famous snap trap at the end. The trap has two lobes hinged like a clamshell at the midrib. Inside, it's usually bright red from anthocyanin pigments. That color attracts insects. It also secretes sweet nectar to lure them in. On the inner surface of each lobe are usually 3 sensitive trigger hairs, tiny, stiff little sensors. Around the edge are stiff, hair-like teeth or cilia that mesh together when the trap closes, like prison bars, and underneath are tiny digestive glands that will later release enzymes. This entire structure is a modified leaf. It's not a flower. It's a highly specialized hunting tool. Here's where it gets insane. An insect lands on the trap, attracted by the nectar and red color. It starts walking around. The first time it touches a trigger hair, the plant registers it, but does nothing. One touch could be rain, wind, or debris. The plant refuses to waste energy. But if a second touch happens on any trigger hair within about 20 seconds, boom! An electrical signal, an action potential, shoots across the trap. The lobes snap shut in as little as 1/10 of a second. That's faster than the blink of a human eye. The teeth interlock. If the prey is small or not nutritious, there are still gaps. It can sometimes escape. The plant doesn't want to waste digestion on junk food, but if it's a decent-sized insect that struggles, every movement stimulates the trigger hairs again, and that's when the real magic happens. The Venus flytrap doesn't just close, it counts. Scientists discovered it needs roughly 5 total stimulations of the trigger hairs, including the ones that caused closure, before it fully commits to digestion. 2 touches equal close the trap. More touches from struggling prey equal seal tighter plus start producing digestive enzymes. It literally has short-term memory and a form of plant arithmetic. It remembers the first touch for about 20 seconds. If nothing else happens, the trap reopens in 12 to 24 hours, good as new. This counting system prevents it from wasting energy on false alarms and ensures it only digests worthwhile prey. Can plants think? Not exactly like us, but this is about as close as it gets in the plant kingdom. Once digestion starts, the trap becomes a stomach. It seals completely. The plant releases a cocktail of enzymes and acids, very similar to what's in your own stomach. Over the next 5 to 12 days, the insect is liquefied. The plant absorbs the nutrient-rich soup through its glands. When it's done, the trap reopens. What's left is usually just the indigestible exoskeleton, a chitin husk. Each individual trap can usually catch and digest prey about 3 to 5 times before it blackens and dies. But the plant keeps growing new traps from the center. So a healthy Venus flytrap can live 20 to 30 years with good care. For over 150 years, scientists, including Darwin, wondered how it closes so fast without muscles or nerves. In June 2026, researchers finally cracked the code in detail. When the electrical signal hits, the cells on the outer surface of the trap lobes rapidly soften. The rigid cell walls loosen almost instantly. The trap, which was under tension like a loaded spring, suddenly releases that elastic energy and flips from convex open to concave closed in a fraction of a second. It's one of the fastest mechanical changes ever measured in plant cell walls. Pure biomechanical genius. Let's bust some myths real quick because these kill more Venus flytraps than anything else. Myth 1. They need to eat bugs constantly. Reality? They get most of their energy from sunlight like normal plants. Bugs are just for extra nutrients. Myth 2. You can feed them hamburger or cheese. Reality? Human food rots inside the trap and kills it, only live or dried insects. Myth 3. They'll eat your finger. Reality? It might close on your finger, but it can't digest it and will usually reopen. It's not dangerous to humans. Myth 4. They're super hard to grow. Reality? They're actually medium difficulty if you follow the rules. Most people kill them with tap water or wrong soil. Myth 5. They only eat flies. Reality. In the wild, they mostly eat ants, spiders, and beetles. Flies are actually pretty rare for them. Here's exactly how to keep one alive and thriving. Light. Full sun or very strong, grow lights 12 plus hours. Red traps equal happy plant. Water. Only distilled, reverse osmosis or rainwater. Tap water will kill it with minerals. Keep the soil moist but not swimming. Soil, 50-50 peat moss, plus perlite or silica sand. Never use regular potting soil or anything with fertilizer. Pot, plastic or glazed ceramic with drainage. No terracotta. Feeding, optional if it catches bugs outside. Indoors, one small live insect or a few dried bloodworms every 1 to 2 weeks per trap. Never overfeed. Dormancy, critical. In winter, give it 2 to 3 months of cooler temps, around 40 to 50 degrees Fahrenheit, or 4 to 10 degrees Celsius and less water/light. This resets the plant. Temperature, 70 to 90 degrees Fahrenheit growing season. Protect from frost unless dormant. Common killer mistakes. Tap water, fertilizer, low light, no dormancy, feeding human food. Do it right, and your Venus flytrap can live for decades and produce dozens of traps. Bonus facts that will blow minds. Each trap can only close a limited number of times before it dies. They can detect heat and will sometimes snap shut during fires, which helps them survive. There are beautiful cultivars like Akai Ryu, Red Dragon, and giant varieties. Try this safe experiment. Gently touch one hair twice quickly with a toothpick and watch it close. Then wait 24 hours and try again. The more you learn, the more you realize this isn't just a plant. It's a biological masterpiece. In the wild, Venus flytraps are vulnerable. Their population has dropped dramatically due to habitat loss, development, fire suppression, and illegal poaching. It's a felony in North Carolina. The good news? Active management with controlled burns is helping populations stabilize. When you buy a cultivated plant from a reputable grower, you're actually helping conservation by reducing pressure on wild populations. When you buy a cultivated plant from a reputable grower, you're actually helping conservation by reducing pressure on wild populations. There you have it, the complete story of the Venus flytrap, hunter, mathematician, and one of evolution's greatest inventions. If you learned something new today, drop a like, subscribe for more deep dives into weird and wonderful nature, and comment your favorite fact or whether you're going to grow one now. This is W. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one. Stay curious.